Cell versus dabura. You're gonna be dabura. So, by the way, we are going to establish certain conditions, which are just the reasonable ones we mentioned before. We're gonna use anime.
Yes.
For those effects, we're gonna use anime. Sorry. We're gonna use anime. We're gonna use anime guides naturally. And we agreed as gentlemen to avoid rat tactics, right? Such as asking, "Can you prove the Buru exists?" or something like
Yeah.
that.
By the way, Hybris,
Arguments of that nature. Huh?
didn't you say that we use both anime and manga guides and stuff? Like we use everything.
I think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't mind it if you, for example, try to show me a scene from the anime.
Yeah.
Sorry, try to show me a scene in general, and your only version of that scene is the anime. I don't mind that. That being said, it doesn't mean that the anime and that the anime has to be a piece that overwrites the manga. Do you need clarification on that?
No.
Okay, just for the record and for the people listening, what I'm trying to say is that there could be instances in which we find we have such a discrepancy between anime and the portrayment Toriyama tried to give us. So we find scenes in which Toei animation doesn't properly depict the character certain of, say, Goku, right? Or say, I don't know, Cell, that they do unusual things considering the manga and actually shown the anime. For example, we have a difference between Super Saiyan 3 Goku against Kid Buu in the manga. He goes to that form straight. And in the case of the anime, he goes little by little. In Super Saiyan 2, more power, and finally Super Saiyan 3. Type of like that. You picture what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in this case, your stance is that Dabura is stronger, that Dabura is better fighter, that he's gonna win. Tell me, please.
My stance is that dabura is stronger, therefore he would win the fight.
Okay, Dabura is stronger than Cell. That's your premise or your argument or your stance. And you mentioned that super perfect Cell, correct?
Yes.
And based on that, he will win a classic fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by classic fight is like, under the notions of SBA. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So how about you go explaining your stance?
Okay, so in the anime, before Goku was like 7 years ago, there was this guy named Cell. Dabura probably has the same strength as him. Later on, Dabura goes on full power against Gohan, and Goku's like, Dabura's a lot stronger than we thought, ain't he?
Okay, you're saying that there's this comment in the manga that Goku compares Dabura to Cell, and after that, when he's fighting Gohan, he makes a comment about, and I quote, Dabura is stronger than I thought, correct?
Yeah, I sent anime scans. Yeah.
Okay. Stronger than I thought. Let me see your scans. Give me a second. It's loading. Who the fuck is here? I got echo. Corn, you mean I got echo? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
ignore. Oh.
You hear me thrice? That's that's interesting because I'm using headphones. I don't know how to fix that, to be honest. Okay.
Bro, let's just continue.
But can the rest listen me clearly? You guys can type in jungle. Apparently the rest says there's no echo, so I think it's good. You might want to fix your audio system.
I
Okay, you
kind
say
of, but I think it's
okay. So you're showing me because it has the same thing. 7 years ago, there was this guy named Cell, slightly in disorder, right?
yeah.
And then you show me the Bura. What's that? That's what would you
Uh,
call that scene? Powering up.
yeah, like go on's
So
like
based on
one.
my recollection, the moment Goku says the Buras are stronger than I thought is when he uses the flame type of attack and the after image made of magic, correct? So in essence, Goku refers to, or at least the previous attack that Bura used is magic based, and he actually said, magic, right? Oh, he's stronger than I thought. And what I'm trying to
But
say is that have you contemplated the the two possibilities we have with that statement, in which yes, he says stronger, but stronger admits for more difficult, right? Have you contemplated that other option?
not really, because I don't think it would really make much sense. Like in the anime, what happened is Gohan was like, "Wow, at this point we can't really call it a real fight." Then he tells the Bora to activate his full power, and considering the fact that before this, the Bora meditated to heighten his powers, that would mean that the Bora is obviously stronger than he was before. Later on, Goku says, "Wow, he's a lot stronger than I thought." So
Yeah, but um, okay, when Goku says stronger than I thought, of course he's referring to the gauge he had before, correct? When the Bura first appeared, and he was basing it off hidden power, right? Because to take he's speculating, right? And when you speculate, it's because something is hidden from you. You try to discern what is this thing that is beyond my vision or beyond my senses. So
yes,
he's trying to correct a guess, right?
yeah.
So when he sees more power from the Bura and he's able to witness that directly, it's very similar to what happened in the Cell arc, right?
I mean, yeah, it's that simple. He simply made a guess before guessing he was around Cell's level
And
of power.
the example I'm giving you from the Cell arc is that mm, at some point Goku was in front of Cell and he was trying to wonder how strong he was, right? And
Mhm.
after that, during the Cell games, by doing it directly, he identified, oh, I guess I was wrong. He has more than I expected.
Yeah.
But how much is that? How do we quantify that? How would you define that difference?
Why do we need to quantify it? I don't understand.
It's
Like,
very
why is this?
important. It's very important to quantify because if you tell me the Boros is stronger than Goku before thought, that doesn't necessarily mean he's now stronger than Cell because there's a margin for error there.
What?
For
I don't.
example, I'm gonna picture you it with numbers, okay? If
Yeah.
I tell you 8 is close to 10, and then I tell you, that 8 is actually not 8, it's 9. It's still not higher than 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that could be the situation here. So you need to quantify to know if this is actually making the word stronger than Cell before.
Considering that Goku considered the Bora a 8 in this example, then later on he says that he's a lot stronger. The word a lot alone is a quantifier. It means that he's I don't want to use too much of a big word, but let's say he's leagues above. I don't really get how your example works. Like,
Doesn't really mean much in Dragon Ball to have such increases. Like small things are often considered as monumental. For example, we know the Super Saiyan multipliers, right? And
yeah,
um, and Super Saiyan 2 increases Super Saiyan 1 by 2 according to Super Exciting Guide. And yet we know that Super Saiyan 2 is higher than, for example, Grade 2. But the difference from Grade 1 to Grade 2 that Vegeta performed and Piccolo comments on, it's called a massive increase. So we know that despite not increasing your power exponentially, like by twofold or more, it can still
yeah,
be considered a big gap. So when you say a
yes.
lot stronger, that doesn't really mean much in Dragon Ball. It can be significant, but still not higher than Cell. So there's ambiguity about the magnitude. So that's why you need to quantify this so we have a clear picture.
Your example quite literally proved that there's a big difference when you say that he became a lot stronger. Like if I'm 2 times stronger than a person in Dragon Ball, I'm going to overpower him. What?
Did you get to? No. I think you didn't get what I meant. When you said that a lot stronger, the quote
Yeah.
is your means to quantify the situation. And I tell you that those type of qualifications of increases can still be by small amounts, numerically speaking, but very significant narrative or for the sake of the fight. So we have two different points of view on the increases. If we speak about the difference between 1 and 2, it's not that large of a gap. But
Yeah.
it's still good enough for 1 to get beaten by 2, right? So different
Yeah.
ways of looking to a similar thing.
So in this example, the difference isn't a lot stronger. But if he's saying that it is a lot stronger, then the difference is a lot stronger by definition. I don't understand these examples you're making, trying to tell me a lot stronger doesn't mean a lot stronger.
A lot stronger means a lot stronger, but what you don't understand is that that numerical difference doesn't have to be that impactful.
Wouldn't the scaling chain simply be
For example, dabura can be a lot stronger than what cells show. Sorry, that when Goku thought, and still be weaker than Cell.
okay? And why would that be the case right now? Like,
What do you mean? Why will that be the case right now?
if we know that the Bora goes from being considered relative to Cell to being considered stronger than his previous version, which was relative to Cell, then why are you telling me in this case we don't actually know if he's way stronger than Cell or not? That makes no sense.
Okay, listen. When Goku makes the first comment, he's speculating, correct?
Can someone in
Like
chat clear for
he's
me
saying
because
probably what you're packing is around the level of Cell, right? He says around the level.
yes.
Okay. Um, if the Buru increases his power substantially, aka a lot stronger,
Yeah.
it can still be in the tier of power of Cell. And if he's still in the tier of power of Cell, think of the God of Destruction from Dragon Ball Super. It's sometimes things are wider than we expect. For example, Sidra is garbage to Beerus, but they are inside the God of Destruction tier, correct?
Yeah.
For example, the recent Dragon Ball superhero movie shows us that even if we can consider wide margins between characters, they can still be called in on the same level or on a similar level. Example, Piccolo, example, the Gammas compared to Goku and Vegeta. They keep being considered as on the level, but we know that there are substantial difference between them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes to tell us again that yes, maybe the Boros is stronger than Goku anticipated, but we still haven't met the enough evidence to say, okay, this makes him stronger than Super Perfect Cell.
My nigga, in your example, you said that Beerus is way stronger than Sidra, whatever that god's name was. Even if they're in the same category of power.
Don't take my examples
Okay,
as
yeah, I'm sorry.
okay.
But even
Don't
if you're gonna
think
say,
don't think when I say Sidra, I mean Dabura and Beerus Cell. It's just
yeah,
a
understand,
general
but
example.
you understand, but even if you want to say that they're in the same category of power, it doesn't change the fact that one is like two
Come
times.
again, please. I couldn't understand you.
Wait, even if you want to say that they're in the same category of like power, I don't know. I don't remember what the exact wording was, but I, it would still put the board above Super Perfect Cell. Like I don't understand. Same category.
I'm having a hard time understanding you. Sorry. Can you try to
You
rephrase
said
that?
that you said that if someone is way stronger, they can be in the same category of powers. For example, they can still be God of Destruction A can be way stronger than God of Destruction B, but they could still be considered God of Destruction tier of power. But that doesn't disprove the fact that God of Destruction A is still stronger enough to beat up God of Destruction B in a fight.
Yeah, but that's unimportant to the point you're making.
Why not?
Because we are not trying to define who wins. We're trying to define that this sort
Uh,
of comparisons can admit for wide margins and differences.
can I have someone in chat explain it for me?
For example, in essence, the word is being called cell level, correct? We can say that cell level. Do you agree?
The exact statement says that he's probably the same
No,
strength.
I'm paraphrasing what he's trying to say. Like
Okay.
we could call that cell level, correct?
Yeah. So wait,
And you can,
let me
and
put
by
some.
that you can be stronger than cell, you can be weaker than cell, you can be equal than cell, correct? You have a variety of options.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. So in this example, what I asked you initially is to contemplate the other possibilities, and I told you if he was, say, weaker than cell, and now he is stronger than himself, does that prove he is stronger than cell?
I mean, considering the fact that Goku says probably.
Especially when we are going to consider other things when we advance in this debate, like the feats and the other statements. But right
One second.
now, we are discussing the language being used. You
Okay.
get what I
So
mean?
Hybris. Yeah. Okay. So the statement exactly says he's probably the same strength as him. Therefore, he would probably be a 5, and Cell would be a 5.
Yeah, but you notice he's saying he's probably, he's speculating.
Wouldn't that still imply relativity between them? Wouldn't that still imply that they're both at least like they're nearing level? And if I
Yeah,
did
but what you
significantly
need to
stronger,
contemplate, and now we enter the realm of feats, is that that in the case of the anime, the Buru is weaker than Gohan. Do you know that?
adults go on.
Hmm?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Gohan.
Gohan is considered stronger than the Buru. Now we are entering the realm of the feats and the statements we see in the show. Okay, we are
Yeah.
passing the part of the text. So
Mhm.
so when you know, and when we understand these notions that the Buru is weaker than Gohan, and the only reason they are having somewhat of a tough fight is because Gohan is a really bad fighter, and the Buru is quite not. So he's able to overcome that gap in power, but still we get the notion that he is weaker than Gohan, and we know that Gohan is weaker than he was many years ago, and many years
Yes.
ago we know that Cell was stronger than Gohan. So
No.
before you continue, I'm just gonna give you the last point of this sequence is that if that sequence follows, the last point will be that Super Perfect Cell, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan 7 years ago, Gohan against Dabura, and then Dabura weaker than Gohan in that order of superior
Yeah.
to lower.
Yeah. That's dependent on if you can actually prove that Super Perfect Cell was stronger than Super Saiyan to Gohan, right?
In the anime, he is actually beating Gohan.
I don't really think he is at all.
Well, they go for a beam. Well, they go for a variety of feats that show that Cell is stronger than Gohan. You can actually also find them in the manga, but in the case of the anime, it's actually more explicit and more said that Gohan is really in a pinch situation that he is not gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna go for a few examples. For example, of course, Cell is strong enough to cripple Gohan while trying to save Vegeta from his stupidity. You know,
Not really.
Vegeta, yes, that scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think that's a valid feat due to the fact that Gohan was kind of underestimating Cell's power.
Gohan
So
is
it's
Gohan is pretty much in his best condition in that moment, right? After that, he gets crippled, right?
not
He's
really because
and
what
what I mean by best condition is that he is angry at Cell. He wants to avenge his dad. He's not injured. He didn't have to waste much power in the previous fight, so he is in peak condition. We can know that.
But the problem is that I was trying to point out is the fact that while he was trying to tank Cell's attack, he wouldn't be really like protecting himself at full power because like later on he says that he was underestimating Cell's power and
He said that Cell is stronger than he thought, right?
yeah,
But that doesn't mean he didn't put all his power.
I mean your interpretation of
That
depends.
only means that what Cell has It's actually more than I thought, but that doesn't have to mean I didn't use enough power to cover Cell's attack.
I mean, but the thing is, your interpretation of the events is kind of weird because later on, Gohan is seen going relative with Cell in the Kamehameha beam struggle, and Goku even
You know why?
states,
You know
"What?
why? You know
What?
why that happens? Because Goku's giving power to Gohan.
No, he
It's
isn't."
yeah, it's actually stated in the guidebooks and in the anime itself that Goku's key is there with Gohan. You might think, oh no, I can interpret this as courage, but think about it clearly for fuck's sake.
Well, did I miss something?
When you see that father son Kamehameha, notice the name, okay? Notice the name initially, but then you go to the explanations and they say, with Goku's power and Gohan's anger, and you have a variety of scans saying Goku's power from the afterlife, Goku keeps power from the afterlife, and you get to
Yeah,
see the descriptions of the story, and they say Goku and Gohan's Kamehameha defeat Cell. That you would never call that
yeah,
Kamehameha
but like,
made by two people if only one is making it and the other person is just cheering up. So there's clearly an intention of
yeah,
giving
but like,
key. And and you might say, well, there's no instance shown in which Goku is giving key to Gohan. But we actually know that key is not always um,
wait, Hybris. What I'm
giving
trying to
key is not
like,
always that evident, and it can be subtle or off screen, because we know in the anime Gohan feels Goku's key, unlike the manga.
two things. First off, I wanted to comment about why it's called Father Son Kamehameha. It's kind of the Goku encouraged Gohan into using his own full power, and like there's also scans that suggest that it was just a Goku figure. It says it was almost as if he was theirs. And second off,
I'm gonna
before
show
wait,
you.
two things,
Yeah, while
two
you do
things,
that,
two
I'm gonna
things.
show you the scans that says Goku's power.
I have a
Okay.
question. I want you to repeat what you said before when you were talking about the breaking Gohan's arm feet. Because like I
Um,
didn't quite comprehend. I was too busy
I
because
am.
too many opinions.
So okay, let me. Someone remind me that we have to go back to the father's son because maybe we go into a full mini debate about a cripple. So remind me that I have to go back to the
I
father's
think
son.
considering that was brought up first, I think it's completely fair we talk about that right now because it was brought up as the first thing after the father son Kamehameha thing. I
No,
mean,
it
before
actually.
the
Yeah,
father son,
before. Yeah, but it's
before.
like I'm making a sequence of thought. For example, I tell you he's able to do this, and then it's able to do that. So it's linked. We come to a linked conclusion that yeah, he was stronger than Gohan. Because you have a position of a certain skepticism about it. You think no, it can be other things such as, for example, Gohan wasn't properly braced,
Well,
but due to
like
wait, but due to
yeah,
later feats, we know that he's actually just stronger than Gohan, plain and simple, because it's called. It's been mentioned by people like Dende, by people like Piccolo during the fight that he's actually stronger than Gohan.
okay, so a hybris about the Gohan's breaking his arm feet. You said that Gohan that was less than what Gohan thought. Like Cell's power was more than Gohan thought. That's what it means. I'm sorry, and yeah. So wouldn't that quite literally mean that Gohan didn't brace himself for impacts enough to tank Cell's attack?
Why does it have to quite literally mean that and just mean what it's trying to tell you, that Gohan didn't properly understand Cell's power? Because there's a difference between misjudging someone and neglecting your own use of power. There's a gap between there. There's a leap you are making. So prove it.
Um, I'm making what they have to prove right now. Like the way you debate is kind of weird. Sometimes I don't understand
Okay,
what you're saying.
you're asking me. Okay, you're asking me this, right? Or actually, you're telling me this. You said that when Gohan says he didn't properly understand Cell's power, or Cell had more power than
Yeah,
expected,
yeah. I interpreted that
you're telling me that literally, that's the word you use, means that Gohan was suppressing, right? That's what you mean?
yeah, I'm using that to say, oh, Gohan probably like through what Gohan thinks. Cell's power is, let's say, a 60. Gohan's like, yeah, okay, cool. Let me just tank this
Why?
with some
Okay,
different
okay,
power.
yeah, I think I picture what you're trying to say. But why is Gohan suppressing?
Your
So
mind, what?
far, the statement proves that Gohan. No, no, wait. What the statement says is that Gohan didn't properly understand Cell's power or the full extent of the power. That doesn't go to say he was being suppressed. That's different. You're making the leap.
Because if he thinks that Cell's power is this amount, then he would prepare for this amount, wouldn't
Not
he?
necessarily. That doesn't have to be the conclusion. You're making the leap, not Gohan.
Okay, but like later
Because
on,
I can still go full power and be sure and try to secure my win. I don't have to suppress to the level of my opponent. That's silly. And you have to understand that Gohan just comes from making that same mistake. So why would he do that again? That's stupid. No, I'm not saying you're stupid. Stupid on Gohan's
yeah.
side because he just understood the lesson that, oh, because I did precisely this, my father died. So I get a second chance. I'm not gonna do the same stupid shit again.
Wait,
You
one
get what I
second, one
mean?
second. You do realize that his mistake was kind of like not killing off Cell. That was his mistake. His mistake
Not
wasn't
what? Not carrying or not kidding.
not killing Cell. Like that was his mistake. His mistake wasn't.
Yeah, but it's not as simple as not killing Cell. There's more to it. And what we know is that Gohan was bloodlusted on his power superiority, right? Instead of doing the job, he went to toy with Cell. He went to toy with even with the Cell Juniors. If you go by the anime, he invests a little bit more time. So what he's doing is that realizing that he should just end the fight as soon as he can. And then you are telling me that Gohan, instead of understanding what he just said, is going back to make the same mistake and suppress when there's no reason to suppress. That doesn't make sense. And you've tried to say that it makes sense. It's not true. You're making the
I
leap.
mean, your interpretation on the event is kind of weird because, like,
Weird.
later on, yeah, weird because, like, later on, Gohan is seen going relative with a Cell during their beam clash. And Goku even stated that Gohan was stronger than Cell. He had enough power to
What Gohan? That's what Goku thinks, right? He's cheering his son. That he will naturally say that. That doesn't
why
have
would
to be a fact.
why would Goku lie about how much power Gohan has?
Because he's trying to cheer his son. So he's trying to
Because
motivate.
his son is down in morale. Okay, but he can still cheer
He's
his son.
saying, "Oh, he's losing, but if he uses my power and his power, maybe we can
His
win."
power? Wait. His power, because Goku said that he needs to unleash the power hidden within him due to the fact
Yeah,
that
but
Gohan.
it's still Goku and Gohan's power
Okay, can you prove Goku's power was somewhat included here? Was somehow included here?
because okay, I guess I guess you know this, but I'm gonna post them no less. The guide saying that Goku gave his power,
By the
right?
way, the scans I'm referring to are these ones right here.
So if I go to let me check 1 second. I have a new one in case you don't much like those from the Daisenshu guide. It's a really new one, came like 2 weeks ago or so. There we go. So it quite literally says, give me a second.
Typhus, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
Sorry.
No, I was talking to Typhus.
And what did he say? I'm not watching that.
Nothing relevant.
Okay. Gonna I'm gonna drop this scan. Probably you're gonna need more. Just tell me that. I think you kind of get the idea, and everyone can get the idea that it is said what is said. Everyone can check scans. That's from the DV official site. so it's kind of newer than Daisenshu if you're wondering, of course. And you can see right there, the scan says Goku sending his power from beyond, from the afterlife, of course.
Yeah, but this is kind of weird because first off, it's seen that when there's a literal power transfer involved, it usually
Question. Sorry, I need to question you about the words you use because you often say in this debate weird. When you say weird, you mean wrong because I don't really.
yeah, I
Wait,
mean wrong.
I don't really care, and you shouldn't care about my opinion or taste about Dragon Ball being weird or not. So just limit yourself to tell me if it's wrong or if it's correct. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You shall not worry about my opinion, and I shall not worry about yours. So don't tell me weird. Tell me what you think. Correct or incorrect? Just that, okay?
Okay, what the hell? I mean, that's kind of weird because oh my god, again. Oh my god.
Dude, you
It's
just
just a habit, bro. Let me be. Let me say whatever I want. It's just a habit.
okay. So when you say weird, you mean incorrect, okay?
Yes, I mean
Just to
incorrect.
clarify. Okay. Now that I understand you, we can continue.
As I was saying, there's scans like that say that that's implied that this wasn't a literal power transfer, and it was just a figure of Goku standing there, something symbolical. And usually, when we see a literal power transfer going on, we always see the particles of ki going to Gohan and that stuff. So
Not
by
always.
Goku,
Doesn't always happen.
I feel
Sorry
like
to cutting you, but no, it doesn't always happen. For example, when Goku forms the Genki-Dama, sometimes you see the particles gathering, and sometimes you don't. But still, the Genki-Dama is formed. Sometimes it's invisible, so it's not true that it has to be always the case.
so you're saying that there's not. Can you give me an example of this happening?
Well, the first Genki-Dama against Vegeta, you don't see the energy gathering. You just see like it's in sort of invisible waves. You don't see a giant ball of light approaching Goku's hand. It's not
Wait,
formed
but
like that.
in that case, wasn't the Genki Dama, because I don't remember the events that correctly. Wasn't the Genki Dama made by Goku's own strength? He doesn't need to get particles from other.
The Genki-Dama is made by gathering strength from most things surrounding Goku.
Wait, do you have the scene? Because I don't
Do
remember.
you not know that?
Yeah, I know
Is
that something.
The Genki-Dama is not just any ki blast made by Goku's powers, made by maybe his power, but mostly the power of other things. I thought this will be common knowledge.
Okay, so the Genki Dama is made by the power of different things. Cool,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, even the sun and things like rocks, plants, even inanimate things like those.
okay, but in this case, I feel like by Goku sending his power from beyond, it means that Goku is like giving this guy Goku is giving Gohan encouragement in order for him to tap into that potential that was suppressing before, because Gohan was
Okay, but you mentioned in that Goku's cheering Gohan is not quite important because we know that happens. But on top of that, he is giving Gohan ki, as provided by the scan. And your
no,
only objection is that you think it should just be
I'm
courage, but
saying that it's not in a literal
that
sense.
doesn't really discredit the scan.
How will Goku be able to give Gohan power from the afterlife? Like,
The same. You're asking me? Okay, the same way the people from Earth were able to feel the Genkidama in the Kaioshin realm, also a different dimension. So yes, you can actually give power from different dimensions. It happens like that
okay, but how is Goku doing this in this case? First off,
by sending his power, just like the people did to the Genkidama against Kid Buu, the same way, pretty much,
but you're taking this in a
or very
literal
similar
sense.
at least. Huh?
You're taking this in a literal sense. Now, I'm telling you right now.
I'm taking in it the sense they are trying to give you, which is Goku sending his power from beyond. You don't call courage his power. That's not how you word power.
Um, I don't think if you let me finish, you'd realize what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that considering the fact that there's other guides that say Gohan, I mean Goku's figure, he wasn't actually there. It's almost as if he was there. Them saying that it's just a symbolical thing. I'm saying that giving his own power will be giving him his own encouragement in order for Gohan to tap into into this hidden power. Like it doesn't have to be a
Yeah,
literal
so
power.
but when you tell me that that other guys say that he's giving, I don't know, the image behind Gohan is symbolical or something. That doesn't
Yeah.
matter to the power because that image can be symbolical. It's okay, and Goku can give courage. That's also okay. That doesn't discredit that he is giving power to Gohan. Those are three different things. The former two do not exclude the later one.
Not really, because if something is symbolical, then it can't be present there.
They are no Goku. Yeah, of course Goku is symbolical. He's not there, but his ki can be sent to Gohan. That's different. Again, I keep telling you these are different situations, and you keep convoluting them for no reason whatsoever. So you should stop doing that.
Okay, so how will Goku be able to give Gohan power in this case?
We already covered this. I already answered this by giving his power like the people from Earth give their power to the Kaioshin realm, which is a different dimension. Just by sending your key, that's how it goes. This is Dragon Ball. It has always
And
happened.
how
And you can actually try to be a skeptical to the utmost and say, how are plants giving key to the Genki Dama? It just happens. It's just possible. This is Dragon Ball. This is fiction.
Hybris, 1 second. So you're saying that the people on Earth gave powers for the Genki Dama, okay? But we've seen that when the people of Earth do it, there's actually something which indicates they do it. There's actually like on their case when they were giving power to Gohan to Goku. Today's Genki Dama from Earth all the way to the Kaioshin realm, it was something which told us it was happening. Well, in this case, there's basically nothing except Goku's encouragement. And second off,
No. Absolutely false equivalence because there is something telling us the scan I just gave you. And in the anime, as I mentioned before, and you probably are overlooking, Gohan actually senses Goku's ki. Do you want to see that?
sure.
Okay, give me a second to get the scan. Where is Cell? What chapter should this be? Gohan.
By the way, my bad. Quick question. Actually, no, let me save it for later. Never mind.
Huh? Tell me.
No, I'll save it for later. It's not relevant right now.
Okay, my friend. Okay. So there's my. Oh well, Typhus got it faster than me. There's my scan nonetheless. I got it. I felt Father's key, and I could even smell him. So Goku's key was there with Gohan. By the way, are you might not be okay with Typhus dropping scans, so you can tell him to stop if you want, if you prefer me to be the one who drops the scans. Just for the sake of being fair, do you want that?
I mean, Cypherus can drop scans if he wants. It's not really
Because
out.
I guess it's okay as long as I mention the things that Typhus posts. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So in any case, I gave you the scan right there. It actually says that Gohan felt Goku's ki and was even so present there that he could smell it.
Can it
So
just
yeah,
be
so yeah.
Gohan?
I again, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to repeat this. You might be confused because in the manga, in the case of the manga, you don't actually see any indication of this. But
Yeah.
now that we are debating the anime, and we actually see that the anime has this difference in which it's actually mentioned that Goku gives power. On top of that, I have the guide saying that, and you know there are more guides about this, and they actually explicitly say Goku's power. You can know that it was actually that. It was courage. It was symbolical image behind Gohan, but it was also key from Goku. You understand that? I think you do. I think everyone does now.
So, the question I wanted to ask you before wasn't the relative before this whole power thing that we were discussing, before this whole thing where Goku was giving his power to Gohan was brought up. Wasn't the fact that Gohan was kind of going toe to toe with Cell enough evidence to conclude that
So
a full powered
toe to
Gohan?
toe. When you say toe to toe, you mean the beam struggle, right?
Yeah, the beam struggle.
Okay.
Wouldn't the fact that they were somewhat relative already show that if Gohan is 2 times stronger, he could defeat this cell?
I'm sorry, I'm not getting what you're trying to ask me.
Because a 50% Gohan was going on a beam struggle with Cell. This beam struggle, it was like it wasn't completely one sided on Cell's side, so it would be something like 1 second.
Yeah, but you might be overlooking the fact that again, this is Gohan plus Goku. So again,
Yeah, but
this is still doesn't debunk the fact that Cell can be stronger than the previous Gohan who was fresh, you know,
yeah, but
before the
like
beam struggle,
when will
before saving Vegeta, just to clarify.
yeah, but like wouldn't this amp start as soon as we see the image of Goku?
It's not really clear, to be honest. It could be later, it could be, I don't know. Because again, we have to separate the symbolical image behind Gohan and the key. So it could be Link, it could not be Link. I don't know. I don't know how to answer you that, and I don't think it's really that important.
Wait, let me send the scene real quick because I'm pretty sure that this whole Goku helping Gohan thing was only mentioned a little bit after there was the beam struggle. 1 second.
After the beam struggle,
And then not after the beam struggle, after the beam struggle started.
um, okay, but tell me what's the importance of this question, please.
Because like if this Gohan wasn't at he was at 50% of his power around that level. If this Gohan was kind of going relative with super perfect cell, then that would imply that's a Gohan.
Now I think I get what you mean. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're trying to tell me that Goku plus Gohan has to be below 50% Gohan?
No. I'm saying that first off, I'm trying to prove that Goku's help, if there is one, came after the start of the beam struggle. After when Gohan was kind of feeling overwhelmed, a little bit after that. That's what I'm trying to say. So if before that, a 50% Gohan with no help was holding a little bit of his own, like not completely, was obviously getting overpowered. But if there was some sort of relativity, then that would mean that's a Gohan which is 2 times stronger. Then this Gohan would be stronger than Cell, Super Perfect Cell. A 100% Gohan will be above Super Perfect Cell.
Okay, I think we need to separate again other things such as, for example, what Gohan considers his power is different from the one he can deploy in the beam struggle. And why do I say this? Because when Gohan says less than 50%, he's not considering yet, keyword yet, Goku's power, right? Because he's not saying, I am less than 50%, so your power is not going to be enough. No, he's not saying that. Okay? So when did Goku's help came? Probably after that statement.
Why
Because
would it come right after that?
I say this because when Cell first arrives, there are comments about how he is now stronger than Gohan. A fresh
Wait,
Gohan,
can
mind
you
you.
show me
I have
these?
to repeat
Can you
it,
show me
but
these comments?
it's the one from Dende, it's the one from DB
Oh, the one
Box.
from Dende. Oh, cool. Can you?
No, also from the guy DB Box, that they actually tell you that he came back, he might be stronger than Gohan. And there's of course the essential saying that after regenerating, Cell now became the strongest existence. Bear in mind Gohan is there, so of course that includes Gohan.
Wait. First off, I need to go over the strongest existence one. So I talked about this before. I think that he's referring about super perfect. So he became his own
Before we
strongest.
continue, just so everyone can know, we are talking about Daisenshu mentioning that Cell, like there's a chronological mention of the story, and when Cell comes back, he's being called the strongest existence in Daisenshu 2, I think. So just so everyone knows. Okay, let's continue.
We only need to talk about the Dashentu statements, right? Can you send me the statement real quick because I think I know what you're talking about. Is the strongest one in existence one?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
somewhere there, but I don't have it right now. Let me check. Strongest existence. Where's
Oh wait,
this?
it's the one from Herms, right? It's the one from Herms where Herms
Yeah,
trying
it's
to.
the one exactly. It's the one from Herms.
I feel like it would make more sense for it to be strongest, his own strongest being, because Herms kind of only.
Why does it make more sense?
because Herms only translated the being and existence parts, so it would be his own strongest being. That would make sense, no?
Huh?
Wait. First off, let's clarify something. This is the statement you're talking about. Then I will let me send this.
Oh, right. I don't have to forget that Father Son Kamehameha. Yeah.
You're talking about this one that I just sent in scans.
Okay, but becomes the strongest being, the strongest existence, it doesn't really change much. Yeah, you can be picky and say, I want to be more precise and say being instead of existence. That's not really important. The fact is, it's still been said he's the strongest one.
What? I
Could
wasn't. I
you
was.
could you hear what I said just before?
Nah, not really. I was too busy
Okay,
talking to
I
myself.
was just
Wait.
mentioning
One
that
second. One second. Can we
either
can we
we
proceed
go
with
by
this? Wait,
being
wait.
or
1 second.
existence, the
I need to
sense is
say
the same.
something to Auden. 1 second, Auden. I'm not debating you again. You're an obnoxious person to debate. The whole debate was you just speaking over me. Stop saying aisosa debates me if you're not a person I like to debate. You're annoying. Okay, go away. We can have a moderator. We had that last time. You still spoke over me. Stop talking to me, Auden. Dead boy. Okay, sure. Maybe another time. Because like I know that you do Naruto inverse, but I'm not that good in Naruto inverse, so we can schedule this. Anyways, Hybris, as we were saying,
The
yeah,
savage life.
this nigga is weird. Anyways,
Okay.
as you were saying,
Yeah, I was mentioning that Herms pronounces on the aspect of being or existence, but I say, while he can modify that, do you think it's really important to change existence from being? I think it's still saying pretty much the same.
I mean, he can be more specific with the translation. He can be more specific. He can be his own strongest being. That's the only thing he
Um,
pretty much translated in here.
he's the strongest being, right?
Yeah.
The strongest being. So
His
the strongest
strongest
being,
being. His strong, like among the cells, his strongest being among the cells.
among the cells, but that's pretty clear from the manga itself. There will be no point in mentioning that.
What?
It will be very redundant if they are just saying he becomes his strongest form because we already know that from the manga, right?
Yeah. But he can still,
So they are actually what I think makes more sense. That's I'm using your terminology of making more sense is that
yeah.
he considering what Cell said himself that he power up like Gohan did, and he is gonna win this, and that he manages what he does against Gohan. I think that we can conclude that it's more likely that it refers to the strongest being rather than his strongest being.
I mean, that's that's kind of weird because, like, as I said before, oh my god, the weird. I'm sorry, Hybris. It's just
I'm
something I
not
say.
blaming
I'm
you. I'm
sorry.
just
The
having
weird.
fun with the weird terminology. But go ahead, don't worry.
Yeah, as I was saying, because like we know that he only translated this part. He said yes, Japanese text should be being rather than existence. So his strongest being is still valid. It's not less likely or
I'm
whatever
gonna.
than your
Yeah,
interpretation.
I actually got that from different people other than Herms. I'm gonna. I mean,
Then
post
stop lying.
can't mean
Apollo
drop.
didn't say you were winning. He was going by polls, and those polls were showing. If we really want to talk about polls, Connor, can you send us where I would not buy polls since he wants to talk about that? Like what? This nigga is weird.
You might want
That's a
to
troll.
speak.
Okay, shut
You
up.
might
If
no
you
no no
know, no,
wait
one
wait
second. If you
wait
know that's a
wait.
troll, don't shit that was. It's a troll poll. When you're winning, you say it's not a troll. You say that it's a troll. What? Shut up. This
I so
nigga is
I
so
so
annoying.
you're the mean Odin.
This nigga is still annoying, and if he's gonna talk
I
about,
know that want
yeah,
that. Okay, focus.
I bet.
Give me just a bit to get my. So there's like a Japanese forum, and when people people read the Daisenshu, they read that it says the existence, not his existence. Because as I mentioned before, we have actually feats to support this in the anime, and we can see that that will be a redundant claim. And typically speaking, meaningful assertions are more desirable than redundant ones. You get what I mean? So give me a moment while I take that. And don't lose your focus on Odin. You shouldn't do that.
He's weird and he's annoying.
Okay. Do as you wish.
Cause I'm nigga, like you're spending you're above me. Okay. First debates I had, I don't know how many people say I beat you up. In the end, pianist watched half the recording. You know what? Let me just leave it to pianist. I'm not gonna reply to you again. He's finding us.
Yes. I'm looking for a scan. I'm gonna drop this on the scan section as well, just to prove a previous point I made about you can form, for example, a Genkidama without seeing the power gathering last flashes of light.
Oh, that's the supposed energy from his surroundings. The energy from
I
the
just
earth thing is always
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
more
It just goes
particles.
to explain that it can actually come in invisible ways sometimes, and it can be very visible in other times. Like
Sometimes, but
you can
those
you can
those
have
times are
both,
extremely specific.
huh?
Those times are extremely specific though. Like the times where there's no particles is due to the nature. Or every single time we see that there's a literal power transfer going between two saiyans or humans or whatever you wanna call them, two people, there's always the particles flowing.
There's been power transfer from people to Goku in this case as well.
Oh,
It seems you don't really know how the Genkidama works, my dude.
I know how it
That's why
works.
you need to read the manga.
I just don't remember the scene, bro. That's
Huh?
all. I
No, no,
just
no.
don't remember the scene. That's all.
Right, but for example, think about the Genkidama on Namek. Even when Krillin and Piccolo didn't raise their arms, they knew their power was being taken in small portions. Like what you the reason they raise their arms is to give large quantities, but they still get minor ones when they don't. And this is a case of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Auden tells me, "Let me up. Don't ping me, please. Thank you."
Told you this nigga's annoying.
Kira knows about this cam, by the way, but I need to
Here,
show you an image to be fair, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Give me a time.
I'm not gonna lie, Hybris. The things I heard from other people, I thought you would start spurging out. Like, because I heard you're a really aggressive person. You're surprisingly calm. That's all I'm gonna say.
I am an aggressive person.
Okay, at least not in this debate, at least.
Because I have no reason to be aggressive to you in this debate.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Random is spitting so much facts right now.
I don't think I have it right now. It's a Japanese forum, and the people when they read that, they read Cell reach his the strongest existence, and they go to list. Just for the record, both judges know what I'm talking about. I will try to drop that later to you, just so you don't think I'm inventing this. But I am aware Kieran knows this. That might very well be the reason why he asked Herms on the tweet. But I think we should continue with the other notions and save this scan for later because we're gonna waste more time. Is that okay?
So you think that we
Because
should
that
continue as if
that
the
that
scan is
that
actually
that
there?
person you see that the person who asked Herms, that's Kira. T Kojo or that shit.
Oh, that's Kira.
Yeah, he knows the scan I'm talking about, so when he listens to this, he will know.
Let's act as if he just sent the scan. Okay, so those sticks. Let me wait. You said that there were some Japanese people who confirmed that it
Yeah,
was his
a
strongest.
Japanese forum. I was gonna give you the link to that forum, and they say no. They are actually debating this, and they say, yeah, but when Daisenshu said this, uh, um, they say Cell reached the strongest existence, so naturally stronger than Gohan. They will go to explain that. So I'm gonna get you the
Yeah.
link later. Um, just to continue with the other notions. Both judges know this, so we can move on.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the feats that will put Cell above the first Gohan before, right? So you had contention with my points.
Can you explain what you were supposed to explain to me again?
I guess we should go back to the father son Kamehameha.
Yeah.
No, the point of this canon I was just giving you is that they say that Cell is actually stronger than Gohan, and I was of course gonna link that to the fact that sure there are feats that prove that he is stronger than Gohan. So now that we go back to the father son Kamehameha, you were mentioning that when does the power from Goku come, right?
Yeah, I think it comes the moment like Goku sees Gohan getting a little bit overpowered because before that he tells Gohan to leech his own power, and it's not a coincidence that the moment Gohan starts winning is when Goku's form, I mean his this symbolic shadow appears.
When do you say Gohan is winning?
No, I mean when Gohan launched the attack, when Gohan launched the attack with Goku's shadow behind him.
When Gohan launches the attack, he is not winning.
No, I'm talking about like not the start of the beam clash. I'm talking about later on, the moments where Goku's shadow appears, and then all of a sudden Gohan unleashes all of this power and defeats Cell. That's what I'm talking about.
Do you repeat that again?
Do you recall that's at a certain point during the fight, which would be in the end? Gohan on is losing the beam struggle, then all of a sudden he's talking to his dead father and he just wins the fight. Yeah, that's the moment I'm referring to.
Um,
Let me just send you the clip.
yeah, you might want to explain that with a clip.
Uh 1 second.
Yeah, that's the scan from Dragon Ball Z book that I mentioned before. Goku's
Hybris.
voice sounds in Gohan's head, encouraged by the father they respect so much. Gohan launches a final Kamehameha. Just one blast completely
My
wipes
father
Cell.
himself as a power beyond this perfect form. A power equal or even greater than that. Okay, let's just conclude on this points first. The one of the the Kamehameha one.
Okay.
So, wait. Here's a clip of what I'm
Okay,
referring to.
I'm
This
gonna
is
I'm gonna
exact,
at which minute do you want me to see this?
literally the
Oh my
first
god.
few seconds. That's when Goku's figure appears, and that's also when I think that the this you're talking about started.
Okay. So you say that Goku's power came for what we can call the last push from Gohan? When Goku
Yeah,
says, "Now Gohan," and Gohan is that one?
yeah.
Okay. Why that moment and not the other moments in which we see Goku behind? Since my interpretation is that you are linking the image behind Gohan to Goku's power. So
Yeah.
if you do that, I have to ask you, if we see the image before, why don't we also say that Ki was in those instances as well?
Wait, we see the images before.
Yeah, before we see the image right when Gohan launches the attack. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm back. I was mentioning to you that there are many instances in which we see the image of Goku behind Gohan. And
Can you show me the?
those instances, of course, are. I'm gonna show you the manga so it's more evident to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Wait,
think
Kent, I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't amp me. Oh,
in the chapter the tables turn. No, the next one. You can actually see the image of. Okay, this is the very first moment in which Gohan deploys a cap. It's actually the same picture above. The one type of scene is the one from the anime, but I'm giving you the one from the manga. It's the same. So that's when Gohan first shoots the Kamehameha.
wait. So
We
this
can see
happened.
Goku.
This
We
happens in
can
the
see
anime.
Goku in both. Yeah, it's the same for both.
I don't really recall. Like, I'm not trying to rat. I'm being serious. I don't
Yeah,
recall the.
I'm gonna show you the that scans before. This is chapter 221. So
Yeah.
you can check yourself. I'm gonna show you the previous pages. That's the sequence. That's the very first moment in which Gohan shoots. Give me another second while you think of this. Okay. Okay. I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah. You were thinking?
I didn't really need to think. I'm just
Okay.
saying that. Wait, Typho said that scan he sent is from the anime.
Mate, I just gave it's the same picture. It's the same picture. Come on.
No, because
What's
like I'm doubtful. I was doubtful if that's actually happened in the
well, yeah,
anime.
okay, aisosa. Now you see the manga, right? And you see this is the very first moment in which Gohan shoots his blast. So stop wondering about that because it's very clear to everyone.
Okay.
This is getting very close to a rat tactic, but I want to give you the benefit of doubt. Okay.
Okay. So at
So
this point,
what about this?
I'm saying that at this point, I feel like I should just concede.
You want to consider the debate
Yeah,
or the point?
the debate.
Are you sure about this?
I mean, kinda.
Kinda doesn't really sound sure to me, but
I'll
okay.
okay. I'll just concede.
Do you know why I came so far as to debate you?
Why?
And why do I came so far as to treat you the way I did?
What's are you
Cor-
getting?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say some weeks ago that you like the D1 style and you wanted to be like that, a Spurg, and you wanted the savage life? So I want you to know that when you accept those
Not,
things,
not really.
when you are
I didn't say
when
this until
when
Spurs.
you accept those things, people are gonna retaliate at you with a similar kind and manner, right?
My nigga, what are you talking about? Cause like I didn't say this I wanted to be like D1. What the fuck? I said I wanted to maybe debate D1. And like I made a joke about I'm going to spurge if D1 spurges at me.
Yeah, the problem with you, Aiso, is that it's very hard to identify what's a joke and what's a real comment because you tend to joke a lot, okay? But I'm just gonna tell you this. I don't particularly think you're a retard, although I have said that in text, okay? But
Okay.
you need to understand this. If you are open to this spurgy, retarded discourse manner, you're gonna get that treatment often, okay?
Cool. So okay, I have nothing really to say.
And when and another advice is that don't go saying that dabura is stronger than Cell is objective in the anime when you're going to concede. Just say that you are confident you can win on that. It's different. It's more honest on your side because if you go saying this is an objective thing and you're most likely to win and you lose, that's going to be very bad on you.
Okay, cool.
So just say I think there's a very good chance that dabura wins. I have done dabura many times before, and I don't go saying it's objective. Okay. So those are just my tips to you, to the new generation debater, and I can now retire. Goodbye.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, yeah, I'm old. I'm old. Now I retire.
Nah, don't retire yet. I'm gonna get my revenge later on.
No. Goodbye. So,
This
Arden, do you want to speak to Aisosa and you want that? You can actually move to a different channel
no
and
no
you
no
guys
no.
can
Put
have
him
it.
up on stage. I wanna talk to him because like he's been talking crazy
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Oh, he wants to talk to you because he respects you. You know, he sees us as
I,
father.
I
Hybris
am
win.
not.
He sees
I am
Hybris.
not
He
gonna
says, "Yo, father,
waste.
please, you're doing a good job, father. Please,
I am
put your
gonna
debater knowledge
retire.
into me,
So
Hybris." That's what Auden is saying. Look at this bitch.
no,
No,
actually, I have a
put,
better
no,
idea.
put,
Since a lot of people want